Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and today we're going to talk about the rigid pattern. Okay, so this is the fifth and last video in the series on the 5 personality patterns by Steven Kessler and how they map to your career. So the last pattern that we're talking about is the rigid pattern. So somebody who's in the rigid pattern is always out to meet some kind of standard, right? They've constructed some metric in their mind of, if I'm this degree of successful, then everything's okay. And they will push themselves to perform to that standard. They will do the things that they feel they need to do to be good, right? And that's ultimately what's driving things there. Now, people in the rigid pattern are often very successful from an external standpoint. Right? You'll see a lot of people who, one of my colleagues at BCG called them insecure workaholics, let me correct myself, insecure successaholics. So they were constantly driven to be successful by their insecurities. And the result of that was that, they would put in lots of hours. They would work really hard. They would do whatever the boss wanted them to do. They would, let the boss construct these metrics that they had to perform to. They would pursue careers that, other people told them would be, good, that would be successful. And so, and they push themselves hard to do that. And they're the quintessential good soldier in the corporate hierarchy. And that all sounds great, except for the fact that internally they're struggling. Internally, right, they're at very high risk of burnout. Internally, they're not authentically doing something they loved. Internally, they may be sacrificing too much to the job and neglecting their family or their health or these other components. And they're not necessarily living a well-rounded life because they're pushing themselves so hard to meet these standards of success. So by the way, these are some of the people that I can help the most, right, in terms of the work that I do. Because a lot of what I do is about getting in touch with one's authentic values. It's about overcoming this idea that, hey, I've got to prove myself, right? Because you got nothing to prove to anybody, right? We're all here on this, ball of rock hurtling through space, making the best out of this, 70 to 100 years that we got, right? Going and spending 40 years of that doing something that you don't want to do so that somebody else will say you're a success, to me is like kind of farcical, but that's how most people live, right? That's how society tells us to live, and truly questioning that, many people, there's a lot of conditioning to work through, right? There's a lot of authority conditioning. There's a lot of people pleasing. There's a lot of, perception stuff that goes on. But, if you're in that group, if you're the insecure successaholic, if you're the rigid pattern who's always trying to perform, start asking yourself, what are you performing for? What's the ultimate outcome that you get here? And what really matters to you? And, that's something that, again, just like any of these patterns, anything that involves internal work, right? And because ultimately all career work is going to require internal work of some kind. This is something that I can help with, so feel free to reach out. You can email me at sean@oculusinstitute.com. But this pattern specifically is one that I'm particularly adept at helping with, and one that I really enjoy helping people break out of. So with that said, that is the end of this 5-video series on the 5 personality patterns, and I will see you for a new series next week. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's something that resonated with you, maybe a new connection that you made, or some information that shifted your perspective, if you found value here, then I want to give you one last gift. So I've put together a free diagnostic that I call a checkup with the career doctor. Short list of questions, and as you answer them, it's going to give you a readout of where you stand on the important metrics of career fulfillment, right? How happy are you with your job, and how good a fit is it? Right? Financial success, which we all know, and then internal alignment, which is your level of inner peace and the inner resources that you have to bring to creating the life that you want. Additionally, it's also going to show you which areas you can improve on to get those metrics moving in the right direction, as well as how can we at the Oculus Institute help you make progress. So it's totally free, 100%. All you have to do is just go to www.oculusinstitute.com/purpose quiz, right? No spaces, no dashes, just oculusinstitute.com. That's OCULUSINSTITUTE.com/purpose quiz. And you can take it totally for free. You'll get a free report sent to you. And then at the end, it will give you some next steps of what you can do to reach out so that we can help you create the career of your dreams.